Hello, my name is Bill Bowen, and I'm a project management instructor here in Ottawa, Canada. In several of my assignments, I ask students to prepare an executive summary of a document they have produced. Executive summaries are important as they are frequently the most read part of a document, and they appear in project management documents such as the project plan, project charter, and business case. However, many students struggle to determine exactly what information should go into an executive summary. To help understand an executive summary, I have produced this short presentation on what goes into one. To help give context, this video will focus on the information requirements of the executive summary for a project plan. An executive summary, as its name implies, is a short summary of the main points of the document. It appears as the first section in the document to give executives a quick overview of the main points in the document without requiring them to read all the document's details. It is the last section of the document to be written and the first section, and in many cases the only section, to be read. You have no doubt already encountered this concept going by a different name. Executive summaries are similar in nature to an abstract that summarizes a formal speech, book, or research paper. They are also similar to the idea of a synopsis that you may have come across that provides a short outline of a book, play, TV show, or movie. So we've all encountered the concept of an executive summary before. Now let's find out how it is used within the project management environment. There are two basic approaches to an executive summary. We will briefly look at both of them. There is a holistic approach that tries to summarize not only the current document, but also includes background context to everything that has led to this document. And there is a standalone internal focused approach that essentially summarizes the document itself without taking into consideration the project status or related documents. Let's first look at the holistic approach. A good example of a holistic approach can be found in the project plan templates recommended by the Treasury Board of Canada. I'll put a link to their templates in the comment section below. Their project plan template advocates that the executive summary should provide a summary of not only the project plan, but also of the project as a whole, including the previous phases of the project and its related documents. This includes information that would normally be contained in other related project documents such as the project's business case, feasibility study, or charter. The benefits of this approach is that the project plan becomes a self-contained standalone document that contains all the information the reader needs. The downside to this approach is that you now have the same information appearing in multiple documents, which can make updating the documents a little tricky, as you have to remember to update the information in each document that it appears in. Alternatively, there is an internal focused executive summary approach. If you look at the formal definition of the term executive summary from sites such as Wikipedia, you'll find that it states that an executive summary simply summarizes the key information for the document that it appears in. The goal of an executive summary is to allow the reader to quickly become familiar with the main points of the project plan without having to read all the details. Remember, executives frequently do not have the time or the interest to read all the details about a plan. Your summary should provide them the main points of the plan, and if they wish to know the details, then they can read the rest of the plan. When we study project management, we usually write these types of internally focused executive summaries. This is because as part of our studies, we usually create documents in isolation. For example, we will create a project plan without first creating the related documents such as the project charter, business case, or feasibility study. So summarizing the project's progress to date is not really possible. So let's look at what information goes into an internally focused executive summary. Your first step in creating an executive summary should be to review the assignment template and see what is called for. Often guidance on the type of information needed is presented there. Beyond checking the template, you should give some thought on the types of information that you, as an executive, would want to know about. Thinking about what you would consider key information from the project plan will help you focus on what should be summarized. Some good information candidates for the executive summary would include a summary of the general approach to the project, indicate any externally imposed constraints such as due dates and budget limits, indicate how the project will fulfill its acceptance criteria. You may also feel that it is important to summarize the resources that the project will utilize, or give a high-level summary of the project budget. You may also feel that the executives should know about the key points regarding the project schedule, perhaps identify some of the major milestones, delivery dates, or important decision points. As for what else goes into the executive summary, you'll need to give that some thought. Look over your project plan. Not everything has to be summarized, but consider the information from the executive's perspective and pick out the information that you feel they should know about. Now let's give some examples of the types of information that you would not put into an executive summary. First off, don't mix up an executive summary with a document outline. I have seen some students simply identify the types of information that will appear in the document without summarizing it. For example, they will note that the document will contain constraints, dependencies, a schedule, etc., without actually summarizing the information that's contained in the document. This high-level content information is usually found within the table of contents or as part of a special section called the document outline. It does not belong in the executive summary. Also, don't introduce new ideas and content into your executive summary that does not appear elsewhere in the document. The executive summary should summarize the information and not introduce new information. But this raises an interesting point. Where do you put supporting project-related information? Often students want to add information that they feel is important but does not fit anywhere in the project plan template that they've been provided. While I cannot speak for other instructors, here's what I recommend my students do in this situation. You can always create a new section in your document. For example, if you want to include project-related supporting background information, you can create a project background or project introduction section in your project plan and add this type of information into that section. Alternatively, you can create a note that points the reader to the different documents that you feel would contain the information. For example, you could simply state that project background information can be found in the project charter. From an academic perspective, this strategy demonstrates your knowledge of how all the project management documents fit together, and from a practical business perspective, it prevents configuration control problems that can sometimes be encountered when you're having to synchronize multiple documents with the same information in it. The same strategy can be utilized for project justification information that would appear within the business case. You can simply create a new section with it, or provide a pointer to your business case document saying you can find the information there. Likewise, many students feel that the organizational goals and objectives should be included in the project plan. This information is normally contained within the corporate strategy document, but if you wish to include it, you can either include a link or create a new section that deals with it. As an aside, I have produced a short video on differentiating between organizational goals and objectives and project goals and objectives. This is an area that many new project managers sometimes struggle on to differentiate between. I'll leave a link to this video in the comments section if you wish to check it out. So to wrap up, executive summaries do just that. They summarize information for executives. Different templates and different approaches exist, and they have different recommended information. Be situational, adapt to what is needed. Keep your executive summary short. Even on large reports and plans, executive summaries are usually less than 1 page. Follow the provided template, focus on the key information that you feel an executive would need to know about, and keep in mind that in a business world, the executive summary may be the only section that people actually read. I hope that this information has helped. If you've enjoyed the video, I have other videos on project management related topics. Feel free to check them out.